Hey everyone, here is the haul of stuff to show you. Nothing crazy here, just some odds and ends and different clothing items. There will be a second part hopefully to this with some cooler stuff that I got out of the guy I buy from that buys storage units. Bought some really cool stuff, spent like 450 bucks. So spent quite a bit, probably the most I ever spent at one time for a purchase, I think. We're pretty close to it, if not the most, and I'll show you. I think I'll do pretty well. So this is some different stuff though that I've got over the past couple weeks, and a lot of stuff has already made it into the storage unit or already sold. So this is the stuff that hasn't been listed yet or just got listed. So one thing I picked up, I've actually had this for like a month or two now. It's Felix the cat. It's Watch by Fossil. Has the original tag. The issue I've had is I don't know if this is just supposed to look distressed or what, because it looks like it's never been worn, but it sure is kind of a junky look in my opinion. But maybe people like the distressed look, or maybe it's just worn from being in the box. It still has the plastic over it, so I'm guessing it's unused. I paid $15 for that from the guy I buy jerseys from, and I've just sat it and haven't listed, and then I got kind of stored away somewhere and I forgot about it. So that's getting up here pretty soon. Comps are kind of all over, from as low as like 20 or 25, but as high as like 70, 80, 90. So we'll try to shoot for like that $50 range. It'll ship first class. So if I can get 50, even 45, I can still make a decent amount of money. So happy with that. Panasonic pencil sharpener. These are great for me. I usually anywhere from 18 to 25, depending on which one. I paid $3 for this one, so hopefully I'll get about that 20 range. The way I package them is, first I test them with the pencil sharpener, obviously. I mean with the pencil, make sure they work. And then I wrap them in bubble wrap and throw them in a padded flat rate for that $7 or whatever it is. And if I can, I usually don't pay more than $3 because I want to be able to basically make that 8 to 10 mark on them if I can. So if I pay that, it costs $7 to ship it. My fees are like $3 something. I'll make almost $8, which I'm okay with. It's a really easy sale, and shipping them is real simple. Here's a Unicolor precision timer. I've sold a couple of these different kinds of timers, not this particular one, but I paid $1 for this. It comes with the original box. Someone I think got 30 shipped for one without the box. The box is kind of not the greatest, but so I'll see if the box is worth including in there. Maybe it'll add to the value or not. But it's only $1, so even if I can get 25, 30 bucks, that's a pretty easy sale there. You'll see all these VHS here, and I don't usually do a lot in VHS, and I would say I'm far from an expert. Many of you probably know more than me, but most of these were MCA Universal Monsters, the classic collection. At least over half of them were all these right here. A lady had these at a mobile home sale, and honestly, it was a pretty sketchy area, so I was wasn't even sure about stopping there because it's kind of a rough part of town. But I happened to be in the area on a Friday, and I was like, oh, I'll just check it out. And sure enough, I found a whole box full of these. I asked her what she wanted, and she said $5 for all of them. They were like $0.25 a piece or something. I didn't even count them. I knew it was a better deal to buy them all, so I just bought them all for $5. I looked some of these lots up of the Monster Classics ones, and someone, for like 15, 20, they'll get like 30, 40 bucks shipped, and obviously medium mail shipping is pretty cheap. So what I'm going to do is lot all these Monster Classic ones up right here and list them separately, and then all these other ones, which are also horror type films, I'll lot all them together for a price and see. Some of them I looked up were like, $5, $6, $7, so nothing crazy, but for a used VHS, that's not too bad, I guess. And if I put them together, maybe I can get 30 for all of them. So it'll be a good deal for the $5 investment. A couple other things. This is a Devil Rays jersey. Paid $10 for it. It's by Majestic. Already sold though for $50 shipped. It's going international, but they're paying the shipping to, or I'm paying the shipping to Oklahoma or whatever, and they're paying the rest. Some lady said she's buying it for her son. He loves the Devil Rays, and he's in the UK. They're actually called the Rays now. That used to be called the Devil Rays, so it's like an old. It's not a vintage jersey. It's like a retro one. But they're still harder to find jerseys that say Devil Rays anymore. So paid $10, sold it for $50. Probably could have got a little bit more because like brand new they're like $100 and something. But I just wanted to get rid of it, and I listed and sold within one day. Here's an American Eagle Outfitters, kind of like canvas style with the faux fur lining in there. It's a men's medium. I paid 10 for this. I've done well on something like this in the past. It's got that distressing. There is some wear, some marks and stuff, but overall, I mean, I think it's a pretty cool looking jacket. Won't fit me unless I was like 10 years old, but obviously not anymore. So pretty useless in that. Otherwise, I'd probably keep it just to wear around if it ever got cold in California. But anywho, with that said, I think I can make some money on it. I mean, I don't think $40 is out of the question, and I'd probably aim high. I think I listed it like 75 or best offer. I know that's really reaching, but I would be surprised if I didn't get that 40 or $50 for this. And for $10, I'm okay with that kind of investment. So, and sometimes I think, I don't know who said it. Newfound Past, I think. He's a really great channel. You should watch him. He's been doing it for a lot longer than I have and knows a lot more than most people. He's a newer guy, but check out his channel. I mean, he made a comment that I really agree with. Sometimes you have to set kind of the high mark for what something's worth. So if you have a piece and you feel like it's good quality and you take good pictures, you know, don't get suckered into too low of a price because you see auctions ending at a low price or something like that, because sometimes they're just letting it go for nothing, and you might be able to get more than that. So that's on something that I'll start a little high and see what happens. A couple other clothing items. Here is a Robert Johnson 1997, like a blues singer. Not a tour shirt, but just a shirt. Paid $2. I saw some of shirts like this selling for like 15 to 20, so for $2 I was okay with that. Here's a Chiefs Nutmeg 95 crew neck, kind of like sweatshirt. It's got no other graphics aside from this front. There's nothing on the back. But I sold a Chargers one for like 35 the other day. And I sold another Chiefs one from the 90s for $40 shipped. So all this is for 40 or best offer. And I'll take 30. I'm going to try to list it here tomorrow. So that way, you know, it can go up while they're still in the playoffs and have a chance to win. So. And then here is a Halloween Garfield. It says like, this Halloween I decided to dress up as you. It's pretty cool, but there's some issues here with some discoloration. I paid $1.50 for it at an estate sale. Made by Sun. I do pretty well on some of these old Garfield ones, and this one's Halloween based. So even though it has the staining, I figured it's still worth it to pick up for $1.50. And then here's another shirt. It's a Lakers 3XL, which is pretty much the reason I bought it, was a 3X. It says Keeper of the Rings. It's from the 2000s. It's got a picture of their rings, and they're on their way to their fourth. There is cracking to the shirt, unfortunately, but it is pretty cool, and it has graphics on the back. And for a 3XL, I paid $2. I think I can get 18 to 25 on that if I wait for the right person. So, plus the basketball's picking up here, so as we get past Christmas, you know, if the Lakers are doing well and LeBron's, you know, got them as a chance to go in the playoffs, someone might want to pick that up. And then here's something kind of interesting. It's actually a Dickies jacket, but someone's gone ahead and put a bunch of patches on it. No doubt this one's kind of coming undone. No doubt there's this one, and then I'll flip it around so you guys can see all this. This was actually pinned in right here, I believe. Right, like that. I might have to get another safety pin. I'll probably do it like that because that's how they had it. And then it's got kind of this like little flame rainbow thing here. It's got a Weezer pin, all this. So obviously someone was probably wearing this to like concerts or, I don't know, raves, who knows. Got it at a garage sale for $2. I just thought there might be someone who's looking for this style still. There is kind of some wear here and different marks, and you can kind of see some fraying up there. But for $2, something like this, and you can see that there was an ND right here. You can kind of see, maybe you can. I'm assuming they had some kind of a patch there too, but I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but for $2 I grabbed it. I thought, hey, it's worth a shot for $2. If I could get 25 for it, I mean, I'd make money, but I think it might be worth more, maybe. If I find the right, you know, person who this is just what they need in their life, then I might be able to make some money. So we'll see. Probably start again high on this one, put an offer on there. You can always drop a listing down, so if you feel like it might be worth more, you can start high, and if it doesn't sell in a month, you can drop it. So that's the good thing about this. If you start high enough, there's room for you in case, you know, you need to move down. But if you start too low and sell it right away, you might have left some meat on the bone, which sometimes okay, you know, if you're okay with and you got a low enough investment, but don't short yourself either. So we'll see how we do on this one, and hopefully there'll be some more on the back end of this video. Hey guys, this should be the second part of a haul. think I mentioned in the first part, this is a big pickup I get from the storage unit guy that I buy from. Spent $450. Not everything is shown here. There's a couple pieces that are still in the garage, and I think some are already listed and put away, but majority of it is here, at least the most valuable things. $450 is a lot for me to spend. I don't spend that much that often. I have enough capital, fortunately, to make buys like this, but I just haven't come across that many on the day-to-day, purchasing. Usually the people I buy from, I might spend a couple hundred, but they never have enough for me to drop this much. This guy, he does, he knows enough to make me pay up on a lot of things. I don't usually, outright just get home runs every time from him, but sometimes, he doesn't know enough where I can make some money. So all this stuff, again, he bought a storage unit for like $3,000. It had a bunch of sealed, brand new toys and stuff from the 90s, early 2000s. There were Star Wars Power Rangers, there's Bakugan stuff, all kinds of different toys and handhelds, as you can see here. There was like video game stuff, and a lot of it had already sold before I even got there. He said he sold that Sunday $1,000 of video games to one guy, $800 of toys to another guy, prior to me showing up and spending the $450. So obviously he had some good stuff, and I probably even missed out on more, but this is what I did end up with. We kind of went back and forth on the price for a while on a couple things. I had a lot more than this originally, and I would have paid up for it, but his prices were so far off. So we'll start with the small stuff in the front. I had made a huge box, well, I guess a decent sized box of these little sealed handhelds. There was like a Jurassic Park one and different, Tiger Electronics ones. Most of them were sealed, with a couple of odds and ends here and a couple of jerseys and some other stuff. Put it in a box, and I asked him, what do you want for all of it? There's probably about 6 or 7 more handhelds here. He said 300, which was way off for what I could pay. He goes, they're worth $100 a piece. And I was like, I think you're a bit off on your pricing. I looked him up and showed some, and he's like, well, my wife saw it for 100, so we want, at least $50 each for the handhelds. And I was like, yeah, right. There's just no way I can do that. So what I did was I looked at what I had, and I pulled out the handhelds that were worth the least. I quickly grabbed like 6 of them and just tossed them to the side, into a bucket, and said, okay, tell me what for this stuff. I had 2 jerseys there, a decorative thing that's for the wall from the 80s. It's actually worth quite a bit, but it's a little broken. And a couple of little odds and ends, like a remote, a Wii controller, just stuff. And I go, how much for all this? He goes, oh, just $100. So I jumped on it, because these Scrabbles usually go for like 40 or 60 bucks. Here's a Pokédex for 25, a holster there goes for like 30. And this Digimon used goes for 50. There's not even one sealed listed. That's the English version. Plus I got, like I said, 2 jerseys, a bunch of other odds and ends stuff. So I feel like that was a good price. I've already listed this. I'm going to try to get like 45, 50 for it if I can. Again, probably 30 on that, 25 there. This is a little pop ball, probably like 15. And I think this, I'm probably going to get close to 100 for. If they're selling used for 50 and there's no sealed ones, if someone comes through and offers me 100, I'll be good right there. So there's probably, by the time you add in the jerseys and the odds, and it's probably about $300 of stuff that I paid 100 for. So that was a smaller portion, good deal. And again, I just broke off a couple pieces that I felt like were not as valuable. There's money there, but I can't pay that price. I'm hoping next weekend he'll be back up again with the stuff, and he'll be in a better position to want to lower the price because he wants to move it and move on. So we'll see if we can maybe get some more of that stuff to sell. So really happy with that. The rest of this, I made a separate deal on the box and this roller coaster. This is the California Screamin' Paradise Pier coaster. It is brand new inside. The box, you can see, is super beat up, but inside is all sealed contents. He wanted $300 on this, just for this one piece, and he asked me what I thought it was worth, and I was like, probably like $200 to $250, and I didn't even look it up. I was just taking a guess, and he goes, well, I want $300 for it because we think it's worth like $500, and I'm like, oh, okay, too much for me. And then I went over and saw this box of cards. These are Nintendo game packs. I think I have like 16 boxes. You can see they got the old kind of like wax packs cards. I think there's 16 of them. And I asked, well, what do you want for these? And he said I hadn't looked them up yet. So I was happy because I'm like, okay, now's my chance. So I quickly looked him up. Some people asked him some questions about other stuff he was selling. I saw some of these selling for like anywhere from 35 to 65 bucks for one box of 48 packs, I think it is. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty good money if I have 16 of them. And then I asked him what he wanted, and he said, I think like $225 or $250 for all of them. And I was like, dude, come on. You know I can't pay that. And I give him a hard time. I'm like, you know I resell. I'm trying to double my money, basically. And really, I want to do a little bit better than that. But I always tell him, like, if you don't leave me anything, then I'm not going to be able to buy from you. So I kind of gave him a hard time. We went back and forth. And I ended up saying, because I paid $100 for that stuff. So I already said $100 on that. I said, how about $250 and you give me the coaster and the game packs? And I knew it was low and I was going to have to come up. So I expected that. He kind of laughed, like, you're just trying to rip me off. And I'm like, no, dude, I got to have money. And he goes, these are all new. I'm like, yeah, they got big X's on them, and they're definitely, got some wear to the boxes, and I don't even know if this is complete. It looks complete, but you kind of got to wear them down a little bit. So I did all that, and then he came back with, I think, $450 or something like that. He said, no, $450. He wanted $300 for this. He goes, I'll do $250 on this, and I'll do $200 on these. I said, no, dude, I'm just going to take this other stuff in the box, and, we're good to go. So then I kind of do that tactic where you're like, I look around a couple other things and then wait for him to come back, and he goes, okay, man, we got to make this work. We're going to make it work, so what can you do? And I said, let's meet in the middle. $100, you come off down to $350, I'll go up to $350. And he said, yeah, so we made the deal. Usually him and I are able to almost always work something out on the price. Only a couple times we had to throw some stuff to the side because we were way off, but usually we can. So I spent $350 on all this, long story short. These are all almost, there's like 2 of them that don't have the full set of packs in them. The rest all do. And again, I think I have 16 of them. I should be able to get, like I said, 35 on the low end shipped for one of these, but that's really low. I think I can probably average more like 50 shipped if I wait for the right buyers. And you figure that's, what, $800 right there at 16 of them. So that's a huge buy right there. And then this guy right here, since it is brand new, they're usually selling for used anywhere from $350 to $500, $600. Mine is technically new inside, but the box is damaged, so I would just assume I could get that $500 or $600 on there, and we could be at $1,400 for $350. So honestly, I got a really good deal. I did pay up a little bit more on this stuff than I probably wanted to, but I was hoping to make the whole situation work out, and it did. Luckily, like I said, he hadn't looked these up yet, so when it came down to the pricing, he had nothing really to gauge on. He just was assuming, he thought they were worth about, $30 a box, which is not too far off, but if he would have seen they sometimes go for $60, then he probably would have wanted to charge me $25 or $30 a box. So it worked out for me. I should do pretty well. These ones I'll probably only list like 2 boxes at a time. I won't do a multi-quantity, just because the degree of wear to the box is different with the X's on them and stuff. And if you're a collector, you may want, this box is torn a little bit, so that one might be worth less. They all have X's, but they're a little bit different. This one's actually stuck right here, so it's going to cause damage to the back. So because of that, I'll probably list just a couple at a time. And as they sell, just keep popping more up. And that way I don't flood the market either with too many of them. And it looks like they're a little bit harder to find. People won't be able to see as many on eBay. So this, I got to take it out. It looks like everything is sealed in there. All the boxes are sealed. I just want to make sure everything is good, and then we'll list it. And then all the rest of this stuff is already listed. So hope you guys enjoy. That should be it for the video, and hopefully I'll have more for you on the next